So the head of the ADL was suggesting that the type of thinking that was employed against Hezbollah with the exploding pagers that happened, I believe, about a year ago, should be employed against people who disagree with the policies of Israel as it is right now. In other words, what he was referring to, he was talking about in the United States. So people who criticize the relationship with Israel, the United States with Israel. Now, that's all over the spectrum, right? There's some people who are really anti-Semitic, who, for all sorts of reasons, don't like the idea of a Jewish state. Other people, like myself, who are in principle supporters of the existence of Israel, but I don't like the fact that they have as much influence, really undue influence on our system. He's suggesting something along the lines of giving someone like me an exploding pager. Something along those lines. What a jackass. These people, see, it's tyrants that don't like freedom of speech, right? If you have an authoritarian government, or if you have an authoritarian system, it doesn't stand the light of day. Human beings have to be free in order to exist properly as human beings. When you're trying to get away with something, if you're trying to do things that are not morally right, you resort to tyranny. You resort to thinking something along the lines of giving people like myself an exploding pager because you don't like what I say. I can't believe that I don't expect this to actually be done. Well, then again, who knows? We got people in our government that seem to be more loyal to other governments, more loyal to other countries than they are to this one. So unfortunately, it's not that far off, but I think there's enough sense that will prevail. I don't think this is going to actually be done. But I'm going to put a link in the description below. This is an X post. The video's right there. He actually says this. And to my very limited and small audience, go ahead and take this and spread it around so people can actually see this. Detractors will say, well, it's warfare. Essentially, if they say that, they're saying that they're at war with part of the American population. We already have this with Ukraine. We have the Ukrainian hit list, right? People who don't support the Ukraine war, they're prominent people. They're on a hit list. This is absurd.